Paragon or Renegade Shepherd?
So I play kind of a Paragrade Shepherd. I'll do mostly Paragon choices, but I do occasionally pull out the Renegade options. One of my favorite playthroughs is as a male shepherd. We were talking about in the chat earlier that it's really hard to make a good custom male shepherd because I think it's probably because Mark Vanderloo is like a freaking model and he looks amazing. So you try to make something else and you're just like, why doesn't this look as good? So I can't take my male shepherd seriously because I always make him look super dumpy. So I always play as, and I don't mean for this to be offensive, but I play a bipolar shepherd where I'll just like every other option will be Renegade, and then it'll be Paragon, and then it'll be Renegade, and then it'll be Paragon. And I kind of have to go in and cheat so that I have full Renegade and Paragon. Otherwise, it's not very fun to play. But so my shepherd will be talking to Jacob, for instance, and he'll be like, "Oh, Jacob, I'm so glad to have you on my team." And then Jacob will say something like, "Oh, it's good to be here, Shepherd. I can't wait until we can spill some drinks on the Citadel." And then Shepherd will just say something like, "You need to take this seriously, soldier."
So you just gotta, you always gotta keep them on their toes. That's the way a good crew should be.
Yeah, Shepherd's a little insane. I mean, he or she did die and come back to life, so you can't really deny that there's got to be some kind of issues going on.
Mm-hmm. So, who's your favorite romance?
I always end up romancing Garrus for some reason. It's just I'm naturally inclined to romance Garrus, mostly because I'm so afraid that Garrus is going to corner me and like take his armor off, and I'm gonna see what's under there, and I'm going to be scarred for life. So I always try to romance Garrus first, so I can control that situation.
Throwing the cover there. Damn, I'm failing.
Sorry, yeah, Ben over here just died twice in a row. In short succession. The video's lagging, but it'll catch up pretty soon-ish. So,
That's
wow,
pretty terrible.
You are bad.
I haven't played this in 2 years, man.
So,
What level are you playing on? Insanity?
No, we're playing on normal. He's just bad.
Oh. Maybe it's because your armor's pink. You're psyching yourself out.
It's gotta be it. Like, it's the pink armor. That's all it is. Everyone sees the pink armor. It's like, we're gonna shoot that guy.
Well, I've been getting, like, progress on the brawler thing, so, like, you guys had none of that. I was the only one who's gotten brawler stuff so far.
Yeah. So, what are your favorite parts of Mass Effect 1 or 2?
I just started playing Mass Effect 1 again, because I did get my copy of Mass Effect 3. I don't feel right about opening it until March 6th, though, just because it feels weird to open it. So, in the meantime, to keep me from going crazy when I'm not working, I have been playing Mass Effect 1 and 2 over again. And so I've been thinking about my favorite moments, and I actually really... Now that I go back and I know what happens on Vermeer, it doesn't affect me as much anymore because I'm like, oh, well, I've got a couple saves where I save each one, so that's not a big deal. But some of the scenes, like where you encounter the Rachni, and the Rachni Queen animates that dead Asari, that scene's so chilling. And then when you're actually talking to the Reaper ship in Mass Effect 1, you're starting to find it all out. And now that I've played Mass Effect 3 and I'm going and playing some of these scenes in Mass Effect 1 and 2, I'm catching little foreshadowing and small hints. So I definitely recommend to people after you play Mass Effect 3 to go back and play 1 and 2 again, because you might notice some things that will start to answer some questions that Mass Effect 3 leaves you with. So it's definitely very cool. But in Mass Effect 2, I would have to say, the whole suicide mission is very intense. When Shepard is giving his or her kind of, we're all in this, and it's now never kind of a speech, and saying that it's been a long journey and no one's coming out without scars. But it all comes down to this moment. I mean, when I'm really stressed out and I'm listening to one of my team leaders give me a pep talk, I always go back and think about that suicide mission speech. And I think about how long it took me to play it the first time around, because I was just like, I can't screw this up. The stakes are so high. It didn't feel like a video game for me. It felt like I was actually there doing that. And I think that that's a huge win for the team that made it.
So have any of the team leaders actually gone so far as to quote that scene word for word when they're trying to pep people up?
No, I don't. They never do. I do. In my last, I had a bi-weekly call every Tuesday and Thursday with the other community people, and we would talk about what we were working on. So at the end of our Thursday call, we weren't going to have another call again until after lunch day on Tuesday. So I was kind of like, all right, guys, I feel like I should say something. I'm not very good, and none of us have gotten any sleep, but it all comes down to this moment. Make me proud. Make yourselves proud. And they were like, oh, no, Jessica, you went there. And I was like, I went there.
Nice. I approve. So, have you managed to get everyone to survive the suicide mission in your save? Or, did you, are you one of those that someone dies and that's it, that's the save you're going to use anyway?
My first time I played, Zaid died because I got really bad information from a friend who was like, oh, if you put Zaid in your party, he won't die. And then he died because I messed up his loyalty mission, and I didn't intimidate him into becoming loyal. So in my first playthrough, Zaid died, and I fixed that immediately and played the second time around, and everyone survived. And I've got to say, I think I will go with my second playthrough when I actually play with my retail copy, because, as all of the people who survive Mass Effect 1 and 2 will make at least a small appearance in Mass Effect 3. So, it is really good to see all those people. And a lot of them, I know that there's a lot of rumors going around, but a lot of them really do have some awesome parts in Mass Effect 3 without revealing anything. So I would say to people that you're going to want to go with your best save to load into Mass Effect 3, because it's worth it.
Okay, is Blasto the Hanar Spectre romanceable in Mass Effect 3?
Blasto...
that question in chat,
No, I know. Blasto, actually, there's some cool Blasto stuff in Mass Effect 3. I don't know how you make out with a Hanar, but Blasto has a cool role in Mass Effect 3.
I mean, the Japanese would probably know a thing or two about what to do with Hanar.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it's already been done in like Fornax or something.
Yeah, Rule 34.
Yep.
How much time are you going to sink into Mass Effect 3 when you start playing for the first time? Tons, a bit, or when you can?
Me personally, I played tons. Like, originally I was playing on Xbox because just for security reasons I couldn't have a copy on my laptop, my work laptop, so I was playing on a developer kit and an Xbox, and of course we can't take those home, so I would finish work around 6 or 7, and then I would play the game until like 1 a.m., and then I would go home, and then I'd get back up and come back to work at like 9 a.m., and then I'd do it all over again every single day until I finally finished the game for the first time. But I think it's definitely in between having multiplayer where you can play like one match and it's like 15 to 30 minutes and then you're done, and some of the missions where they're a little shorter and some of them are longer. I think it's definitely, you have the potential to kind of pick up and play and then stop if you want to. So it doesn't really feel as much of a time suck as some of the other games have, where you're like, okay, if I'm going to start this game, I know I'm going to be playing for like 10 hours. But if you're kind of obsessive like I am when you first pick up your copy, it's definitely a very rewarding experience in staying up all night and playing the game.
Nice. So, I mean, Well, how much time have you like sunk into some of the other Bioware games? Like, what aside from Mass Effect, what is your favorite Bioware franchise?
Um, I mean, of course, I would be remiss not to mention Baldur's Gate, 2. Uh,
Nice.
that was an amazing game, and that was almost something where you could just like go and read all the codexes, and it felt like reading a book or something. So sometimes when I'm bored on like a train or on a bus, I'll still go back and go into the wikis and read those kind of things. I was a huge Dragon Age Dragon Age fan, so I really loved. I have a soft spot for Alistair. I'm not gonna lie about it. And then, I liked Mass Effect 1 a lot. I was not very good at the Mako, so it's hard for me to go back and play that, um, since Mass Effect 2 does not have a Mako. So, but yeah, I mean, honestly, there when I go out to all the other games out there, um, all BioWare games still come up on top for me.
Nice. Yeah, I don't know if you were watching yesterday, but one of the people who was playing for me, she was on the platform in Mass Effect 1 of the Mako, and all she had to do was drive in a straight line. And she somehow manages to fall off the platform. Like, she didn't even make it 5 feet before just falling completely off. So I'm convinced that the Mako is just impossible.
It's either the Mako or
I don't
us
like the
lady
Mako.
drivers just can't do it.
See, I didn't want to go there, but now that you
Okay.
mention it.
It's okay, I can take it. I can dish it and I can take it.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't complain about drivers too much. I'm over in Washington, D.C., and God, the roads and the drivers are the worst ever here.
Probably, everyone's so caught up in all the
You haven't driven
politics
a
of
tank.
being in DC, I'm sure.
I don't know what it is, but damn, I hate D.C. drivers. So, yeah, I think that's it. I think I'm pretty much out of things to talk about.
Yeah, that's
Um,
cool.
but yeah, thank you so much for calling in and wishing us luck. Um, you were awesome to talk to, and it's always great to just hear from everyone. Throughout everyone who's worked on the game and kind of helped make the community what it is. So thank you so much for calling in.
No, thank you guys for putting this together. It's always, everyone at BioWare is really excited about it, and, we're really grateful that we have such awesome fans who, not only buy our games and play them, but take it to a whole nother level and do things like this. So thank you very much, and, I hope that I'll lurk in the chat probably again later tonight and tomorrow. But yeah, you guys are awesome, and for those of you out in the chat, if you haven't donated, probably even a small donation, everything helps. It's all for Child's Play charity, so it's a very good cause. So
Yep.
thanks, guys.
Yep. Thanks a lot, and I hope to see you in the chat later on.
Totally. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye.